Imagine sitting in a crowded room, surrounded by loved ones who care deeply about you. But as you look around, you feel like you're drowning in a sea of loneliness. You can't quite put your finger on it, but something's missing, and that feeling of disconnection is suffocating. You're not alone in this feeling. In fact, research suggests that millions of people worldwide experience emotional disconnection from others, despite being surrounded by loved ones. But what if I told you that this sense of isolation isn't just about being alone? It's often a symptom of deeper wounds, hidden patterns, and unmet needs from our past. In this video, we'll explore the root causes of emotional disconnection and why it's more common than you think. We'll dive into the impact of childhood trauma, toxic relationships, and people-pleasing on our ability to form meaningful connections with others. You might wonder why you feel disconnected from others, especially when it seems like everyone around you is effortlessly forming deep connections. But the truth is, emotional disconnection can be a coping mechanism for deeper wounds. Think of it like living in a house with walls that are always slightly too high. You can't quite reach out to grab someone's hand or receive a warm hug. For some, this sense of disconnection stems from childhood trauma. Imagine growing up in a world where love was conditional, and affection was only given when certain expectations were met. As an adult, you might find yourself perpetually waiting for that approval, feeling like you're walking on eggshells to avoid rejection. It's as if the part of you that craves connection has been frozen in time, unable to thaw. You may feel like everyone else is playing by a different set of rules, and it can be exhausting trying to keep up. But here's the important thing: you're not alone in this feeling. So, how do you know if you're using disconnection as a coping mechanism? It's not always about avoiding people entirely, but often it's the subtle behaviors that can be just as damaging. Maybe you've started canceling plans at the last minute, or forgetting appointments with friends and family. You might find yourself scrolling through social media for hours on end, comparing your life to others, feeling like you're just going through the motions. It's like being stuck in a never-ending loop of monotony, where every day feels the same as the one before it. But here's the thing: this disconnection can be a way of avoiding emotional pain. You might feel numb to the world around you, but that doesn't mean you're not feeling anything at all. In fact, you might be feeling overwhelmed by your emotions and using disconnection as a temporary escape. Think about it like being lost in a dense forest. The easiest path is often to keep moving forward, even if you don't know where you're going. Similarly, disconnection can feel like the safest option when we're struggling to cope with our emotions. As we explore the feeling of disconnection, let's talk about something that might seem subtle, but has a profound impact on our relationships: emotional neglect. Emotional neglect is like being in a stormy relationship with yourself. Your emotions are pouring out, but nobody's there to offer shelter, no comfort, no reassurance. It's like living in a world where you're always walking on eggshells, afraid to express your true feelings for fear of rejection or abandonment. You might have grown up with parents who were well-meaning but preoccupied, or grandparents who struggled with their own emotional demons. They did the best they could with what they knew at the time, but it still left you feeling unseen and unheard. Or maybe it was a teacher, a coach, or a peer who made you feel like your emotions weren't valid. The thing is, emotional neglect can be so subtle that we don't even realize it's happening. We might feel guilty for needing attention, or ashamed for being overwhelmed by our own feelings. But here's the thing: it's not your fault. You deserve more. And as a result of this neglect, you've grown into a person who struggles to form intimate connections with others. Toxic relationships, we've all been there. Maybe it's a family member who constantly criticizes you, or a romantic partner who makes you feel like you're walking on eggshells. Whatever the case, these relationships can be like a toxic cloud that follows us everywhere, poisoning our sense of self-worth and making it harder to connect with others. Imagine being in a relationship where every conversation feels like a battle, where every attempt at intimacy is met with resistance or hurtful comments. It's exhausting, isn't it? And after a while, we start to wonder if this is just normal, if this is what love looks like. But the truth is, This kind of dynamic can create a perfect storm for disconnection. When we're in these relationships, we may feel like we're losing ourselves, that our needs and feelings are being constantly disregarded. And when it ends, whether through a breakup or a change in circumstances, we're left with a sense of emptiness, a feeling that we've been living in a state of emotional numbness for so long that we don't even remember what it's like to feel fully alive. You know that feeling when you're surrounded by people who love you, but somehow you still feel disconnected? Like you're going through the motions, but your heart is 1,000 miles away? I've been there too. And it's not because those people don't care about me, or because they're not trying to connect with me. It's just that my mind has become a constant critic, a whispering voice in my ear that tells me I'm not good enough, that I'll never be good enough. We've all been there, feeling like we're stuck in a sea of faces, yet completely alone. We try to mask our feelings with a bright smile or a witty joke, but deep down, the disconnection gnaws at us. It's like carrying a weight on your shoulders that you can't shake off, no matter how hard you try. You know, high-functioning depression is a bit like wearing a mask to hide your true self from the world. On the surface, everything seems fine. You're meeting deadlines, maintaining relationships, even forcing a smile when needed. But beneath that facade, a silent struggle rages on. Imagine being in a crowded room full of people, yet feeling utterly isolated and disconnected from them all. You might be engaging in conversations, but your words feel like hollow echoes, lacking any real meaning or connection. Your emotions are numbed, making it difficult to empathize with others or feel genuine joy. I recall a friend who was struggling with high-functioning depression. She'd attend social events, laugh and joke with friends, but afterwards, she'd collapse into tears, feeling like she was living a lie. Her mind would replay every interaction, scrutinizing each word and gesture for any sign of weakness or imperfection. This constant self-criticism drained her energy and left her feeling disconnected from the world around her. As we wrap up this conversation, I want to leave you with a sense of comfort and reassurance. You're not alone in feeling disconnected from the world around you. We all experience moments where life feels overwhelming, and our emotions feel like a heavy weight holding us back. Think of it like being lost in a dense forest. Every step forward feels uncertain, and the path ahead is shrouded in fog. As you close this video, remember that connection to yourself, others, and life itself is a journey, not a destination. It's okay to feel lost in the dense forest of your own emotions, but know that you're not alone in feeling disconnected. The path ahead may be shrouded in fog, but with each step forward, even uncertain ones, you'll begin to see the outlines of healing and growth. And when the darkness feels overwhelming, hold on to this truth. Connection is possible, no matter how hard it seems. You are seen, heard, and understood.